Blackpool. Blackpool.
Blackpool.
Yeah.
I think the Blackburn. Okay. Yeah, Blackpool. I mean, we've had a game since then. So the massive positive was we conceded really early at Blackpool. We conceded within a minute a penalty, and then we sort of collapsed a little bit. Birmingham, the boys showed character. We conceded after 2 minutes. They could have easily collapsed again, but they really dug in then. They were solid, and I just thought that barring that goal, there wasn't much between the two teams at all. There was a couple of chances Birmingham had, but they were offsides. The line was good. We didn't threaten their goal enough, and again that's happened in a couple of games now, which we're working on. But I believe players coming back are going to affect that. The players that I've got in the treatment room. But the Blackpool game was as a manager, you can't dwell on these things. This happens sometimes. As a player, I've been in those situations. I'm sure most players have been on the end of a 5-0 or a 6-0. It happens sometimes. It was a tough one to take against one of the rivals down there. But and again, it's a big game Saturday, but we've got 8 big games coming up. I'll take a couple of wins out of any of those games, never mind just Saturday. So there's no panic anywhere. It's just the process now, getting these injured players back, integrate them into the way I want to play, the system I want to employ, and getting the results. But the Blackpool game's long forgotten now. We have a good habit in football of being able to drop things quite quickly. And if anyone is talking about it, they won't be running out of the pitch on Saturday, because I need clear minds and positive attitudes that we can win this game against Wigan.
And Gareth, you mentioned fitting into your sort of system. The system in recent games seems to be a 3-1-4-2. Is that what you sort of settled on?
I've played 3 and 4, and very depending on the opposition, sometimes as much as anything. But historically, that's what I've done in my managerial career. I've destroyed the opposition before I've tried to counter them, and so the system itself, is it can change, and one of my big things is being fluid in changes during the game, because we played 2 formations last Saturday. We played a 4 and a 5 in both halves, and equally effective. I thought first half we did quite well. Second half we tried to nullify their midfield a little bit in Birmingham, and again, with the want of a couple of passes going astray, we could have had something. But no, so the systems are those 2 really that I employ. Yeah.
And Gareth, you always like to play 2 up top. Are you a big favour of having 2 out and out strikers?
No, again, it's I'm very adaptable on that. I only had 1 fit when I came in the door, Chris Martin. So getting Lyndon and Jamal back, and now Chris Wheeler could come play there. At least Chair's not far away. Sinclair Armstrong. So we've got options. But I do think we need goals. So obviously, you're looking at maybe playing 2 strikers, but obviously I think many teams in the Premier League only play 1, don't they? The systems that they use up there, and they play this rotational system around those. So various ways. Obviously, don't want to give tactics away too much, because everyone watches these interviews, and I'll be doing what I think's right on Saturday.
Yeah. And Gareth, looking at Wigan, I suppose you look at the supply line coming from James McLean, but then you have the likes of the threat of Will Keane, who's very formidable at this sort of level. You'll have Max Power there in the middle. Are they the real attacking threats? Did you look at maybe the delivery and the playmaking ability of Max Power, and then the supply in for James McLean down the flanks in terms of deliveries for Will Keane? Because Will Keane is a formidable sort of poacher when he gets a chance.
Yeah, I mean, you've nailed it. They're very good at that. McLean's obviously played at a high level. I think Keane again is, as you say, one of the good players in this division. I think he's very underrated at times. And Max Power, he's done his job in the Championship. He always finds a good pass. He's got great delivery from set pieces. So, they are a good side, Wigan. They're a Championship side, and anyone who's in the Championship are a decent side. We've all got to understand that. You can't think that just because it's Wigan, because they've been up and down a couple of times. They were winning the FA Cup 10 years ago. So there's no bad sides in this league. We've got to make sure that we're competitive against them, and there's 3 big, obviously, dangers of Wigan. They've just pointed out there, and doing our research and our analysis on them, we've seen the strengths of those 3 I've got. Yeah.
And obviously, Gareth, the focus is completely on QPR for the remainder of the season. But given your running fixtures, you're going to play a big role in determining who's going to be in the playoffs as well this year, in terms of you're playing against an awful lot of candidates who are firming out for the remaining of the playoff picture. So there's going to be an awful lot of games for QPR and into the season where the teams are coming to QPR, obviously needing the victories in terms of the playoff permission. So you're going to have to play a big role in both ends of the table this year in terms of who makes the playoffs, and obviously your own status at the bottom end as well.
Yeah, of course, and that's football. But looking at the fixtures coming up, you'd probably say Stoke maybe are the only ones in the whole lot that probably, and even then, that's 3 or 4 games away. They may have gone on a run and start touching these playoffs. The Championship this season is crazy. The points total to get in the playoffs is it's open to everyone. So as you say, there's a lot of games that we're going to be playing in, which I like. I prefer these games. I prefer where maybe teams have something to lose. Might put them on edge a little bit, and we can take advantage of that. But I'm going to try and get the fear out of my boys of anything, and just get them to go and enjoy their football. And I really believe that some of the injuries that have come back this week, although we're not fully at full strength, I think we've got some good players coming back, which will give a boost to the rest of the squad, and I'm looking forward to that on Saturday.
And finally, for me, Gareth, they say every manager sort of is secretly, he doesn't admit it, but he sort of plans ahead or sort of looks ahead in terms of a short term, a medium term, and a long term. But have you got some thoughts rattling around your brain in terms of the summer and sort of next season, or have you parked that, even those notions, out of your head until the season is over?
No, of course I'm thinking next season. I think as a manager you have to, and I think what we do well is compartmentalise things, and I have probably a little section in my head here that goes right place for the summer, what I need to do in the summer, staff wise, players wise, all that kind of stuff. But the majority is on this season, of course, and getting the best out of the boys here. There's no point thinking about what could come in and what could happen. I want to make sure that we guarantee this championship status, and then believe me, that'll probably switch around, and it'll be 80% on what I can do in the summer rather than 80% at the moment, thinking on this really important fixture run we've got. But I have to plan forward. If you don't, then if we whatever happens at the end of the season, if I haven't planned a little bit, then we'll be in trouble next season. So yeah, as a manager, you have to do that, and that's what people probably don't understand. They just see the Saturday, see the game, and they don't see everything else